Hi, welcome to a new video. We're doing some background work for a new comic strip. This is the latest Max and Kurt story, and we're going for sort of a stylized background approach here. So what we're doing, so I've got the panels, this page inked up. I've coloured all the foreground elements. I've left all the background elements alone. I'm not touching the background until now. So let's make a background. I'm making the backgrounds in Inkscape because I want a vector style. So for this to work, I'm going to show you here's what I made previously for the previous page, but I'm going to use this again. So this is an element that I created. It's just a very simple wall texture. Actually, you can see it's just some rectangles. Let's just duplicate a couple of these around just to make the wall texture a bit more interesting. Put one there. I'll put one there. And I'll put one there. That'll do. That's pretty cool. I'm digging that. Right, so the way I'm doing this is clearing this stuff off. This is a brand new file, so we don't need half of this stuff, so this can go. We don't need any of that. Right, all I want is this wall texture, this wall texture element. So I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go into Creator, and I'm going to paste it. I'll paste it up here somewhere. Doesn't really matter where. There we go. There's our texture. It's a bit big, but that's fine. Let's do the opacity down. I just want to see what it looks like in comparison. Actually, I think that might work quite nicely. So, for this to work, I want a slightly different approach. Yeah, that'll do. So I'm going to warp this layer, and I'm going to use perspective warp to do it. And I'm going to try and get it to look like brickwork. Actually, cancel that. Let's first. Can I do this for this layer? Yes, I can. That looks pretty cool. All right. So we've got our artwork now. It's scaled up. We can turn it back to normal. Not that fussed. I'll drag it under if you want, so you can see what it might look like. It looks a bit like that. So it's a good start, but I want to really sell the perspective. So I'm going to do another operation on it. This time I'm going to use this liquify. Make the pen fairly big and powerful. And you're happy with your liquefaction, if that's even a word, just hit enter, and then Creator will take care of that. Right, now we've done that, I'm going to crop all this off. I don't want it to interfere with any of the other panels. This is good, but let's zoom on it a little bit, shall we? Yeah, you see you've got this sort of aliased edge. I don't want the aliased edge, so what I'm going to do is we'll do the rest of these panels. So let's do another panel. We've got our image that we like. Select, and I'm going to export this now as a PNG. I'm going to switch to Inkscape, and I'm going to drag in my rough inks here. So this needs to be sized up. And on this layer, we can turn this layer opacity. We can turn this layer down if you want to. Turn its opacity down. If you've got like a complex scene, But what we're more interested in is just this stuff. So I jump on this layer, get my pen tool, and I'm not too fussed about trying to get all the curvature. What I'm trying to get is trying to get this distorted perspective going on. So I want that one. Oh yeah, if you ever find that happens, you drag and you miss a bit, and you give it a curve, and you want to get it back to be a corner, just click that one, and it resets it for you. Alright. I'm happy with that. Right, we need to make one last thing, which is the actual background colour itself. I'll drop that down there, and send it to the background, and let's give it colour. Right, let's select our bricks. When you're selecting them, you just eyedropper. Select them in the centre, don't select them on the edge. This will have the purest colour. So that's what you want. Alright, and then finally, select all these objects, fill the stroke, kill the strokes. And now, when you zoom in on that, crisp and clear. Crisp as you like. So, that's one background element done. The other one is going to be right, so I want radial lines going top left to bottom right. These are just going to be colours because they don't have to be anything special. So let's do that. So this is the one I want. So I'm going to make a triangle like that. I can double click it twice, or click it twice to get the rotate up. And this is where we're going to have fun with this, because you can just go, you can actually move the pivot point to be that top right hand corner. And now you should be able to, every time you rotate, it rotates from there. So you can hit D, Control D to duplicate, and now you can just rotate them around. So this needs some editing. So let's grab these two. Actually, yeah, let's grab these two. Let's grab these and just pull that one out. And these and pull those out. Something like that. I think we can get away with one more there, just a little one. So let's grab that one. Rotate it up, something like that. Okay, cool. Right. Make a background. I'm going slightly over the gutters because I'm using the gutters to help me. I'll give it a fill. That doesn't matter. I'm just going to drop that right at the bottom. So let's select our rays, want to a better term, and we'll give them a colour. And I'm using these swatches. Like I don't know if I mentioned these swatches. These swatches are the colour palette. This is the CYMK colour palette of 1960s. I believe it's 1960s. It could be 1940s DC Comics. Essentially, they're good representation of the colours that can be accurately created for comics using CYMK. There's 64 colours, but you always forget black and white. So don't forget you can use black and white as a colour as well, and you can sort of print half-tone black on top of them as well. So I'm going to give them. Let's give them a colour, and I'm going to give them that colour. It's like a fawny colour. Oh, I thought I got more. Okay, Control, select the rest of the rays. And, oh no, Shift control the rest of the rays? Shift, select the rest of the rays, and we'll just give them a colour. Now we've done that. Oh, no, that one. We'll get this background. We'll make it white. We'll make it white, and we'll tweak the locate this one so that it doesn't go too much over. Not it's a major problem, but right. This background is going to be mainly red. This last one, this one here. So let's chuck this background in. It's sort of attacking someone, so I sort of want to keep that sort of idea of a red background. So we'll just go with that. That's what we're going to export. We don't worry too much about this. We're exporting this page, so I'm going to export to PNG. I'm going to export that as annoyingly it's 96 dots per inch. Let's just double check the page size. Then page, there you go, page. So I'm going to export that as page 3 background. It's done. We can go to our page 3. What we got? Drop in, we should be able to drop in now on page 3 the background, this one here. We'll probably just need to move it up here. Okay, so what I've done here is I've took the ink layer with its transparency, exported it to a PNG, dropped it in, and this was slightly smaller, so I've just rescaled this up so we've got the colour that matches at least. We can now get rid of that layer, and that is this will be our background file now. So if I export this out at 96 dots per inch, this will work. 2161. There you go, 96 dots per inch. Okay, so we'll export that out. Yep, replace that bad boy. Right, back into Creator. Let's get our, for this example, our PNG file that we just made, and we can insert it as a new layer. Should put it in there, and there we go. Straight away, we've got some good graphics, we've got some good work. Zooming nice and close. It's not as alias as it was, but if you want to get really fancy about this, we could probably, and I've not tried this, so let's try this now, shall we? Let's try dropping, instead of dropping the PNG, let's try dropping the SVG in there, because Creator recognises it, should recognise it as a new vector layer. Now these are a vector? No, it's oh, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's that's interesting. I wonder if that is a vector layer. It looks like it's a vector layer. It's got the same little icon that denotes it as being a vector layer. If I flatten that layer, you can tell it turns into a paint object. So this looks like it looks like a vector. It looks like it's being pre-rendered. Interesting. Well, okay, we'll close that anyway. So let's save our Inkscape file. Every day is a learning experience. Let's drop this back on. There's a new layer. Gotcha. Okay, I can see what it's doing now. It's rendering it at a given resolution, which in this case is 300 dots per inch. So it's really it's a case of you pay as you when you take your choice. In this example, I don't know why it's doing this, but it's denoting that it's a vector layer. But it's not a vector layer. It's a vector layer, or it's a vector layer that's been rendered into a raster layer, which is why we're getting the aliasing. But it's still better alias. It's not as aliased as it was when we first made this, so I think that's a plus. Well, that was a roundabout house as a way of trying to explain how I've created the backgrounds for this latest Max and Kirk comic. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. I found it slightly educational, maybe. I'll catch you later next time. Alright, bye now.